show that everyone's present. And I'm going to ask Skipper to lead us in prayer. We'll all stand and remain standing for the pledge.
Dear Lord, we love you. We thank you, Lord, for all your many blessings. We just ask, Lord, that you would be with all of us here tonight, Lord. Be with us to make the correct decision for the city as a whole, Lord. We just ask that you continue to watch over the folks down in Florida, Lord, that we're dealing with us in everything that we do, and we love you. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you've got the minutes of the last meeting before you. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I made that motion.
Do I hear a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. We want to thank everybody for coming. Welcome you to the council meeting. And first on our agenda is Charles Willis, who's going to come and talk to us about the Opp Housing Authority.
I'm going to pass this out and talk a little.
Don't leave Gary out.
I'm going to give you one, I'm going to give you that check.
Okay, thank you.
And I guess I need some.
I didn't turn it on.
Turn it on.
I did not turn it on. I'm sorry.
Got to hold it down.
Yeah, get it. Is that it?
It's just so that, yeah.
Okay. You know, the Housing Authority is a completely separate entity from the city, operates under the, you could say influence, but actually it's under the direction of HUD. They make it very clear in their statements that you can do whatever you want to do, except you don't get any money unless you do it exactly our way. So we understand that, but very few people in Opp, I think, really know much about it. But they do talk to some of you, councilmen and mayor, about it, and I thought it would be well if I gave you some information. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what's in the brochure, just some highlights, but Ms. Barber was gracious enough to make this up. And I will say that there's 8 full-time employees at the Housing Authority, and there's a couple we'll use in the summer to mow grass and things, but that's all the employees they have. There's 170 units in the Housing Authority that's here in Opp, and there's 200 or 346 people who live in those apartments. We never have an empty one, in spite of HUD sending a letter to the mayor asking her to see if we couldn't do something about improving, about getting more people in it. But we've never had a problem here in keeping them full. And I think it is interesting to note, because obviously these are subsidized things, that there's only 90 men involved in that. The rest of them, the other 256, are women. And it also tells you on this paper that there's 40 people living out there on Social Security. And this gives you a lot of information that she's put together. Obviously, they know exactly how much income everybody has and where that income comes from. And all of that's in the brochure for you to take a look at. And I think some of these things are extremely interesting. And there's a couple of things I'd point out, that there's 10 units that have been rented out there for more than 21 years to the same people. That's pretty odd, isn't it? And there's only 70 that have been 2 years or less. So there's 100 of them there that go into multiple years that people stay in them. There's some very strict rules. If anyone comes into your unit and violates the law, they have to move. Doesn't make any difference if what the circumstances are. They have to leave if they permit anything illegal to go on in a unit. And that involves some evictions and things, but Ms. Barber does an excellent job in following the rules and regulations along those lines. You step out of line, you pay for it. If you've been by the 3 different locations in town where those 170 units are, you'll notice that they're clean. The maintenance crew, is only 4 of them and some part-time help that do all the maintenance work in those 170 units. And this year or last year, they installed a camera system where all of it is videoed, and tapes are made of practically from many of the places that are out there. And those are just security reasons for the people who live there. And there's a lot of other things that they do that I'll talk about in a minute. But now that's the 70 units that are here in town. This is something that very few people in Alton know. All of the Section 8 housing in the entire Covington County is operated out of OP. Those same 8 people we're talking about are responsible for them, except the maintenance is not the responsibility of us. Now those are scattered all the way from McKenzie to Florala, several of them here in OP that are Section 8 housing, and that's where they're private houses, but they have to meet certain standards as far as livability and all of those things, and the tenants there are also subsidized. And if you'll notice in here that there's only 57 out of 201 people who live in a Section 8 that are men. These are predominantly women. A lot of them are older women who have very limited income. And the total amount of children is also listed here, so you know how many there are, how many the families, what the size some of those are. And the length of residency there's 3 people in those Section 8 houses that have been there for more than 21 years. And there's only 23 out of the 100 that have been there for less than 2 years. And there's a waiting list on all of this, and I say that Ms. Barber's done an excellent job as the executive director. We receive 97 out of a possible 100 grade on the 170 units here in town from HUD, and we got an 85 on the Section 8, and that's an excellent score because there's some criteria there that's very difficult. Every unit, every Section 8 house is inspected by them every year and made sure they're kept up to date. And one of the more interesting things I think about people who live in housing authorities, if you move out of that housing authority leaving a debt, you can't go anywhere in the United States and go to live in a public housing place until that debt's paid. And so we have very little in the way of write-offs for that kind of thing. There's some times that damages are done. The other thing I wanted to mention that it's a completely smoke-free unit. The units are clean inside and out, and make a strong effort to do that. The Housing Authority also came up with a basketball team out of people who lived out there that went and participated in, I believe it was somewhere in Tennessee this last year. We also have a Father's Day, and this is something that HUD includes to try to to try to persuade more fathers to step up. I don't have to tell you that's a problem, not just with people living in the housing authority, but it's a problem all over OP. I also work with foster families, and I know that those are significant problems, and they try to do that. They also have a home buyers workshop where they teach people how to save, how to buy. If you want to buy a property, encourage that. They have a high school senior boot camp. One year they rented 3 cabins out at the lake and took all those people out there, give them 2 or 3 days training with people telling them what they can do if they choose to do that. And they also have active shooter training. You know, what goes on in schools and everywhere else, you need somebody who knows how to do that everywhere. And also the scholarship are given by the AAHRA, and that's the Alabama Association of Housing Authorities, and they give scholarships. And we've had a young lady who's been working out there who got a master's degree from those scholarships. These are for residents. She got her master's degree. She's worked out there for a while, but for a peculiar reason, she's leaving and going to Dothan. They offered her twice as much money, but that's beside the point. But those are some things that are done every year, and I'm glad that she was able to get scholarships to even complete her master's degree. They also have a holiday party for elderly people and for children, and they put other workshops on about personal finance, And that could be spread all over town and be useful. And also that job search seminars, how to get out and find a job and that kind of thing. There are a lot of people who live out there who work every day, but their incomes are relatively low, and so they qualify for it. And I would mention, I talked about the Alabama Association of Housing Authorities, and Ms. Barber is the president of that association and will be through the last part of the last of the fiscal year, which is in October, November. And they'll be having their seminar for the first time in Alabama at the new State Park Hotel that's in the Gulf Shores. And the reason it hadn't been in Alabama before, there's no place that could accommodate 500 people and do that. So I think that's great that those tax dollars will be staying in the state of Alabama. I mentioned it was smoke-free. I hope you drive by sometimes and take a look at what they look like. I think you would see that they're reasonably well kept, as well kept as you'd find in any apartment buildings anywhere. I'd be glad to answer any questions you've got, talk to you about it any time, and so will Ms. Barber. Time you want to. She does an excellent job. She lives over here by the high school. She's been there 8 years. And we're certainly fortunate to have someone of her caliber. She's highly respected by HUD, and she's highly respected by all of the state of Alabama for what she does. Thanks.
And I think she does a great job, and this is a fantastic program. And like Charles, a lot of us don't realize what all they do. And so it was good that you came and kept us informed about it.
Well, we've been remiss in not doing those things. Well, and, you know, I know that people look at it, it says Housing Authority, they go, well, the mayor runs that. Well, and they come to city council and everything else. We have a board members, 5 board members that work. We set policy. We hire an executive director, but there's no one who interferes with what goes on. In fact, the board members have to sign a statement they will not interfere with the day-to-day operations in order to do it, because you know how that is with people interfering to run something. And I hope this will help you a little appreciate, because there are a lot of people who need assistance.
Yes, sir.
And it tells you on there how much money, $1 million comes from HUD. It also tells you that the Housing Authority's got a little money in the bank. But don't let that worry you, because we've got money, they take it away every year. And there's one other thing, in maintenance on that, the Housing Authority spends about $1 million a year through some contractors and things in maintenance on those units. Thanks.
John, Mr. Willis, we appreciate you so much. You coming tonight to inform us of this. Anybody that knows, Mr. Willis knows that he keeps off going. Thank goodness. He wears all of us out. But we really do appreciate you coming tonight. And does anybody have any questions they want to ask, Mr. Willis? About anything? Okay. Thank you again. First on our resolutions, ordinances, and other business, we have a resolution 2018-17 to declare 602 West Ida a public nuisance. We're constantly receiving complaints about the condition of this property. It's, our building inspector is gone, and he recommends the property be torn down. And is everybody aware of where this is and all of this? Okay. Do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution? Charlotte makes the motion. Do I hear a second? Second. Do I hear, is there any further discussion on it, though? Okay. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion carried. Next on our agenda is to renovate the stadium. We're trying to improve the stadium as much as possible. I think everybody's aware that the stadium is where more people go than any other place for football games, for the Rattlesnake Rodeo, Little Bighorn. Goodness gracious, Little Bighorn. I don't know the numbers on that. Robert, do you happen to know?
33 bands.
33 bands, and you can do the numbers. And the week before, we had the Andalusia band up here having their
22 bands.
22 bands. So this stadium is used by more people than any other place in Opp, and I think we need to get it where it's the best, or can be,
I
okay?
got a question on
Okay.
that. Are we gonna renovate it, or we, redoing the field house?
We were gonna redo the, field house if we,
Field house.
yeah.
That old thing up there on the hill.
It's
and
gone.
everything, it's
It is just, it's falling down.
Okay, do we have a bottom dollar on how much it's gonna cost?
Well, no, not on, right now, what they're doing is seeing how much it's gonna cost, and they know, they feel like the shell of the building will be around $50,000.
Mhm.
So the school and us, we're gonna try to half it, and then from there, see how much it's gonna cost to redo the inside, or not redo, to,
Complete it.
complete
And Bob,
it.
they're
And-
thinking about,
You're gonna have
they're
to-
thinking about working on trying to get donations to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, with
that's
the-
what I'm getting at.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, they're planning on getting donations and all to try and see, and that's where we are. All we're doing tonight is just saying that we're willing to, help to renovate it, or really not renovate, I hate to say
Build.
renovate, to build, we've got renovate here, but it's build it. And then we'll see if they think that they can get enough donations that we can complete it. Now, if they, the way I understand it, if they can't get enough to complete it, then we can't do it. I mean, you know, we don't want to put a shell up there and not be able to,
Like a
complete
metal
it.
building, with like a brick facade on it, and
Yeah.
match the rest of the stadium. So, you know, they're looking economically, no doubt about that.
Right, they're trying to. So anyway, do I hear a motion to approve spending the $25,000 on the stadium? Okay, second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
No, no, we ain't got to it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're, it's coming up. It's coming up, yeah, yeah. All right. The next is Resolution 2018-18, the tax exemption for OCAP. And Elizabeth with OCAP has come tonight, and we were talking about it before the meeting. This is Organized Community Action Program, and they really help a lot of people in this area. To the county, they give around $820,000. Just in the Opp area alone, it's $180,000, and there's over 550 that are affected by OCAP. And what has happened is they lost their tax exemption because of United Way is no longer viable. So all they're asking us to do is to go under our tax exemption. So, do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution?
I made that motion.
Good. Do I hear a second? Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The next is Resolution 2018-19, the cost of cleaning 402 Dorsey. We've gone and cut the property, and it's cost us $300. We've had a lot of complaints about the grass going up, and so we need to adopt a resolution to get our money back for cutting the property. Do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution? Second? Further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, and the next is Resolution 2018-20, the cost of cleaning 313. We've gone and we've done the same thing. Got a lot of complaints, gone and cut the property, so we need to get our money back. So do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution? Do I hear a second? Second. Other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? So that is carried. Okay, Resolution 2018-21, cost of cleaning 502 Maud. Same thing on this. Grass has grown up, nobody's taking care of it. We've gone and done it, so we need to get our money back. Do I hear a motion to adopt this resolution? Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, repeating myself again. Resolution 2018-22 is the cost of clearing the cleaning the 200 at Graves. We've gone in, mowed the grass. We need to get our money back. Do I hear a motion to adopt this
I
resolution?
made that motion.
Do I hear a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Resolution 2018-23 is to declare 702 Florella Highway a public nuisance. This is the hotel. This is the one me and Jason went out to. The pool still has full of water. The gates are open. The roof is falling in. We suspect squatters are there. It's just totally a public nuisance right in the middle of our town. So, do I hear a motion to adopt the resolution? Do I hear a second? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All righty, we're receiving complaints about the condition of the property on 2507 Highway 84 that's coming in from Andalusia on 84. This, our building inspector has recommended that this property be torn down. There's cars all out there, the roof is, it just doesn't look like it's repairable. And I don't think it's had electricity since June of 2017. So do I hear a motion to adopt the resolution? Do I hear a second? Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. And hopefully we can talk people into cleaning up their property, taking care of their property. That's what we are very big on right now, just improving off. And we ask you to do it on your own, but if not, we're going to have to take action to clean up off. So, anyway. And the other business, I want to welcome 3 new businesses to OP. Aries Forestry is opening the former chip mill property, and they're looking for employees. So there's jobs out there. Blue Sky Ice Cream Truck is owned by Tamala Port. How do you pronounce it?
Kohler, I think.
Kohler?
Kohler, I think.
Kohler, okay. And they've got an ice cream truck that's going to be going around and having little kids follow it. And we don't have to worry about it being winter. I was worried because it was winter. It's not going to turn winter here. It's not going to turn winter, so, you know. And Global Equity Partners, Jonathan Penn, he has opened up right next to Blue Flame Grill, and he's going to be selling computers and I think working on them and all, too. So we're real excited about those 3 businesses opened, and we had the grand open. Did he buy it? I think he did. The building? Did he buy it? I think he did, yeah, he bought it. He's redoing it and all, so that is great.
Who's doing the chip mill?
Aries Forestry, and I forgot the guy's name that came in,
Can't remember his first name either.
right, but,
Is it A-R-I?
A-Y-R-E-S.
I mean, what do they do?
What did he say, Connie?
He's gonna buy and
sale.
haul timber. He's
Yeah.
gonna buy timber, throwing it on the yard, then trucking it on to wherever it goes.
Right. Yeah. He said he needed employees. He wants help, so. Going on in OP.
CDA.
Yeah, get your CDL, go for it. I've got mine. You have yours on? He does yours, okay. All right, tonight after the council meeting, if you want to go see a little football, some good football, they have started up a team that's 7 and 12-year-olds. They met last Monday and had over 70 participants. They're teaching them the basic fundamentals of football, and then last week they didn't have a scrimmage. Tonight they're going to start scrimmaging about 7 o'clock.
Who's doing that?
It's we've got Brock Johnson, Jay Johnson, Willie, Walt Burgess. A group of men got together with Willie, and so they're really, and they have no more openings. It's closed out right now, but they want to let everybody know. And it's really great. My boys learned how to play football, Skipper. You were there, in the backyards. But if you ride around town, do you see any boys playing football in backyards? And so, I think this, yeah, they're playing it on the computer. So I think this is, and it's flag. Nobody's going to get hurt. Shouldn't get hurt. And just raising them up, I think it'll get them more interest in the football program, hopefully. Willie also told me to say that basketball sign-ups are starting now. 7 to 12-year-olds sign up for basketball. Those are still open. And also this year, I think they had a real good soccer team. They went to Troy, matter of fact, in playoffs. I think that's the first time that's happened. So we've got some sports going on in North Alabama that we really need to support. Coming up, everybody knows the mural, looking great. And I want to say this too. I'll just say it this way. The city has contributed 0 to this mural. It was all done by donation. And so that says a lot to the people that have stepped up that want to improve our. Christmas parade coming up the last weekend in November. Anybody wants to participate in that? And we've got a quilting, let me say this, let me read it, make sure I get it, because Barbara Tisdale will get me if I don't. The Covington County Quilters Guild Show is going to be in Opp this year. They have it every other year, and I don't think it's ever been here. It's usually at the Kiwanis Building or somewhere else. They chose Opp to come to. It's going to be at the Grace Building. It's on November the 16th and the 17th. On the 16th, it's open from 9 to 6. On 17th, on Saturday, it's from 9 to 4. And there's, let's say, I think it's $5 admission. And so you need, if you're interested at all in handmade artwork, there you go.
They said they got over 100 quilts
Quilts on display and all.
on display.
Charles, I thought you were going to ask me something.
I want to say something before you get through.
Okay, all right. And then also in the county is the air show, very big deal, November the 17th. It opens at 9:30 and it's till 5 o'clock and it's free. Can't beat that. So, anyway, lots going on. Sometimes we think nothing is, but we're just not looking hard enough and recognizing maybe enough. Yes, sir, Mr. Charles.
I had written big letters on my paper, I overlooked it, but the check I gave you for between $13,000 and $15,000 is from the Housing Authority. The Housing Authority pays in lieu of taxes, payments in lieu of taxes every year, occasionally to the city. That one is $13,000 or something.
Yay, thank you very much. I thought it was my personal check, me and Vaughn did. I mean,
We already went through that.
Okay. Oh, gee. Anything else anybody would like to say? Yes, Jeff?
Election day tomorrow.
Oh, Election Day is tomorrow, yes. Get out and vote. Yes, get out and vote tomorrow. Thank you, Jeff, for keeping me straight. Anything else that anybody would like to discuss? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you.